Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the 33rd episode of TRU Reporting Live. We're going to be getting into it. I got my buddy here, old pal, Mr. Freddie Colton. We're going to be getting into a lot of stuff here. I know it's been a very long time, and I understand that. If you did not see my post today on YouTube, I posted a long time ago on Truth Social and on Telegram, talking about my grandmother passing, also my father being in end-stage dementia. So a lot of heavy changes happening around my family. Had to take some time off. I hope you all understand, but we are back, and we are live in the flesh. Freddie, how are you doing today, my friend? Oh, you're muted.
I'm unmuted now. I'm
There we
doing
go.
well, my man. I appreciate you having me back. I know, obviously there's been a lot going on behind the scenes, but, everyone keep an eye out. We're going to be doing these on Mondays. Obviously, we've had a couple of reasons not to, but I'm excited. I think we got a good show today. I think we've obviously got a great audience going already. I see everyone in the chat. What is up to everyone? Good to see y'all again. And yeah, man, let's just jump on into it.
Let's do it. Guys, I want to say a big thank you out there to everybody on YouTube right now, everybody on Pilled, 5,000 Gold Pilled Challenge, anybody. Let's make that happen. And we do have a fantastic show. I like Freddie's enthusiasm. That is always a plus. We need that around here, especially in the times that we are in. But before we do so, I definitely want to bring this up to everybody, and this is our good friends at Noble Gold, and we love them very much, and we thank them for sponsoring the show. Let's go ahead and shout them out really quick. The rules of money are being rewritten right in front of our eyes. The institutions that control the financial system aren't waiting, warning, or wishing. They are acting. Buying gold and silver, ladies and gentlemen, at an unprecedented pace. They are preparing for something. The question is, are you? For nearly a decade, Noble Gold Investments has helped thousands of people protect their wealth with physical gold and silver. As the world shifts to a hard reset and hard assets, the window to act is closing. Let Noble Gold show you how simple it is to protect yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that you do so and your family. While everyone else is reacting to the news, Noble Gold clients are positioned. They are ready. They understand that when the rules change, you need assets that don't depend on the system. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com, guys, and also go to TRUreportinggold.com to make sure that you download this and get your free wealth protection kit. That's noblegoldinvestments.com, TRUreportinggold.com. The rules are changing. Make sure that you are ready. So a big shout out there to our good friends at Noble Gold. I will go ahead and drop that. You could just send them a shout out and just be like, hey, I heard about you guys through TRU Reporting. And there you go. I'm dropping the link. Just go ahead and just call them. Give them a good ring-a-ling. They would really appreciate it. And they'll take care of you for sure. I believe that number is, I used to have it by memory, 877-646-5347. That is 877-646-5347. Give them a ring. We'd appreciate it. And you get the all-in-one kit to protect your growth and wealth. There's the website right there. As you can see, Freddie, my man, let's go ahead and get into it right now. We have seen multiple times where President Trump has been threatened. We saw what happened at Butler, Pennsylvania. We saw what happened on his golf course where a psychopath threw the wall of the golf course, was trying to take him out. There's been multiple threats at Mar-a-Lago, and as of yesterday, we could see that a man armed with shotgun and gas can killed after entering a Mar-a-Lago secure perimeter, security services say. An armed man drove into the secure perimeter of Mar-a-Lago. How did he even get that far? President Donald Trump's
That's
resort in
crazy.
Palm Beach, Florida, before being shot and killed early Sunday morning, according to a spokesman for the U.S. Secret Service. Although Trump often spends weekends at his resort, he was at the White House when the breach occurred around 1:30 in the morning. The man had a gas can and a shotgun, authorities said. Investigators identified him as 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin of North Carolina. According to the FBI, and authorities said his family had recently reported him missing. He's believed to have purchased this shotgun. As you guys can see here, I'll blow it up. While driving south, Secret Service spokesman Anthony Guglielmi said, and a box of weapons was later discovered in the man's vehicle. The investigation is still ongoing for sure. Martin was described by the family as a quiet and averse to guns. On Sunday afternoon, vehicles blocked the entrance to property listed in public records as an address for Martin at the end of the private road in Cameron, North Carolina. First things and foremost, why are these people so young? The first thing that comes to mind, the first thing that should come to everybody else's mind, 100% is SSRIs. It is something that is dealing with the chemical makeup in their brain. These guys are going out. Where are they getting the money as a 21-year-old? Maybe he had a decent job. I mean, I don't know how much a shotgun is. Probably a couple, I don't know, probably $600, if that. Go to Walmart, get one. Gas cans. I'm assuming that is a gasoline can. I don't know if he was going to pull the old self-immolation that took place with the gentleman that was talking. The ex-veteran, or actually probably a current veteran, I believe, two of them that lit themselves on fire. One of them was in New York City, and the other one was on base that did that. These people are not well. They are sick. They are dangerous. This is a reason, Freddie, why I do not go into public places. And I really believe that these SSRIs have a lot to do with them, and the age. We have to factor in the age and the psychotropic drugs. Your thoughts on this, my man? Not good.
Yeah, we shouldn't be giving these kids all these drugs that we do today, and I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to pretend like I know much about it, but it obviously affects your chemical brain makeup. Like that's all our brain is, a bunch of chemicals, mixing around in a whole pot to make it, as simple as I can. But also the thing that I want to put out here is I thought of like, how do you even get that far? And it's like, unfortunately, we have to think like that, but we used to live in a high trust society. So it used to be, I'm from Florida. So it used to be like, you just could go to Mar-a-Lago and like my family would go there and, get dinner or whatever, it's like, there's just like Mar-a-Lago used to be like a thing that you could just kind of go to. And it was more public, I guess, to say like more like a resort and restaurant, less like, having to be guarded and these kind of things.
The summer White House.
And so that's right. Exactly. And to be fair, now our president, spends part of his time there. So there inevitably does have to be more protection. That said, it is just sad because like the problem is people just used to get to visit because they used to be, not doing shit like this. I mean, you're right that it's definitely there's, I'm sure, a medical aspect, but also you see these young kids, it's the indoctrination of the mind of the youth. I mean, that it's that old phrase, right? That, and we know for a fact that it's happening. We see this indoctrination everywhere, on all fronts, on all things of like, now it's cool to be atheist and it's not cool to be Christian. And again, like I think that is so negative for society to at the very least be villainizing the thing that gave us I don't care whether you believe in Christianity, the Bible gave us the basis for what we now consider like society. It gave us like, don't kill, don't R word, don't do these. Hey, that's bad. Because back then it didn't matter. Who cared? What was the rule set? There was none. That at least objectively gave us this kind of thing. And so I think these kind of degrading things where it's like they think it's a good thing to take his life, like it's crazy. I mean, that's about all I can say about it. It's
I, I
very crazy.
I understand. I mean, and again, bringing up how close you can get showing up at 1:30 a.m., thinking that there's not going to be any Secret Service. I've had friends that during maybe last year, a year, maybe 2 years ago, it was President Trump was down there a lot when he was campaigning a lot, and everyone there may look like a normal person. And I'm talking about waiters. I'm talking about the wait staff. I'm talking about people at the doors, people that are cleaning up tables. They have earpieces in, and they aren't who they seem. They are they are MPs. They are holding guns. They are ready for action. It is a very secured place for sure. And for this person to get that close, again, it's another takeaway as to how unsound this country truly is, and it's not a good place that we're in. I imagine this far into this administration, we would be looking at a different scenario, a closer scenario to a golden age, a closer scenario to peace, but we are just not there, especially into this country. James says here, President Trump said today that he didn't know how long he would be around because they are gunning for him. That is what he said today. Is that what he said at the Angels of Freedom? I believe that's what it was called, where he was representing Miss Lakin. These people that were gunned down, murdered at such a young age by illegals, and et cetera, et cetera. That is, I mean, let's, throw a prayer out for President Trump for sure. That is not a good sign for him to say that. And the reason being, because it shows weakness. I don't want him to show weakness. And I don't want this to be manifested into reality. Words hold weight. We all know that. So for him to say that he doesn't know how long he's going to be around because people are gunning for him does not sound good at all. But I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I believe a dynasty is in the wake of things if things go sour. Freddie, your thoughts on that? We talked about that. I believe me and you had talked about that before. About, we went to the Charleston, the rally.
When I was
and
in
then
College of Charleston.
Yes, North Charleston, and they had the shirts and the dynasty shirts that they were selling. This was not an offhand, pop-up place where you would just get these shirts. They were selling them with the Trump logo and everything on there inside. And I was like, wow, this is very interesting. And I grabbed one. What are your thoughts on this when it comes to they are gunning for me and I don't know how long I will be around?
So, to prove your point of dynasty, Charlie Kirk is like, he's literally immortalized at this point. There is like, he was a martyr in the truest, like, modern day martyr. Like, there is like the normal man, there is just no going back from that. Anyone who like any normal person was like, no, this is crazy. And then the left actually saw cancel culture come for them, because holy shit, most normal people are like, wait, no, that's not cool. So most normal people also, over 50% of the country voted for him, but most normal people don't want to see Trump get taken out like that. And if that does happen, yeah, it's going to send them over the edge like Charlie Kirk, except worse, right? But even still, with Charlie Kirk, that was like, everyone was talking, because a lot of people know I kind of dabble in the news and politics world of, like, parents, friends and stuff, and like our friends. And because if you guys don't know me yet, Thomas and I are like in real life friends, so
Correct.
that's kind of how we just ended up meeting. But that being said, like, I was talking to our friends, they were like, what are your thoughts on this? And it hit that mainstream where, none of them ever want to talk about this political stuff with us. They want to talk about hockey or whatever the game is. But that got it drudged up. So I think that this would do the same. Of course, like, God protect President Trump. I of course, and I know we both think that, like, I hope he makes it his full term. Then I'm pretty hopeful for Vance. I know not everyone likes him, but I so far he hasn't done anything to really put me completely off. That said, with Trump, to your other point of the words he uses, I am disappointed because this is the president that, with no security, walked into North Korea to go make a pact,
Facts.
put himself in the position to straight up be immediately killed. Like this was the guy who had the balls that goes, yeah, go the fuck ahead and do it. Like, yeah, kidnap the president, kill me. Go ahead. Walked his ass into North Korea from South. That was bad ass. I don't care what you think. That's like a movie where it's like this guy literally, he was like, yeah, you could go ahead and kidnap. I mean, obviously it would cause war, but he's like, yeah, like if you want to do that. And look, I fucking hate North Korea. I like what they've done to people like Otto Warmbier, who is just an innocent student who they allege pulled down a sign. I don't think he even did it. I think he's just a patsy. Like, and they killed this American student who was there. I fucking hate these people, but damn it, are they not a power that we have to just figure out how to deal with? And Trump just shut it down. He's like, you good? All right, we're good. Stay away. Stay over there. Because again, stay over there right now. Fuck you. Like, and then that's, yeah. So I am sad that he did say that, but I personally, I think it's a little off brand, but I think the new Trump we've got is a little bit more strategic and reserved in his wording, because I think he saw
and that's good
the
wording.
backlash of things he said. Yeah. And I think that he saw people misunderstanding a lot, because I think the second Trump presidency, he explained things better as well. Where like the first time he ran, he was hilarious in the debates, killed it, like unquestionably the best Republican candidate. But I think a few of his points didn't get across well that he did this time, because I don't think he even changed very much. I think he just changed the way he got his messaging through. And so things like this, to be honest with you, I think this is just him setting up those quotes that if he does get killed, people are like, dude, that dude wasn't even scared though. Because I'm going to be honest, if it were to happen, again, God forbid, but if that were to happen, weeks from now or whatever, I'd be like, look, but it was pretty badass that he was like, yeah, if they do, I'll be a dynasty. Fuck you. You know what I mean? So
the dynasty
that's how I see it.
The dynasty is, and I agree. I do not want to see this happen. I do not want to turn this into anything water wizard over here saying, but I'll allow ourselves to get sucked into the bullcrap news like this. It's not reality. It's voice triggers. Why push so hard? That's a TikTok or X audio clip programmed into him, whatever, triggered by audio. I don't even know what that means, but so be it if that's what you think. I don't think President Trump is MK Ultra'd by any means, or I am, or Freddie, or anyone listening here today. I mean, I am denounce that for sure. I want to move on to this really quick, and I've seen this floating around for about, I don't know, very early this morning. I was up at about 6 o'clock this morning. And I do want to show you guys this, that Epstein hid secret files in storage units across the United States, and it may include unseen evidence of crimes. And then they show this picture. Again, the girl is redacted. We don't know how old, but secretly stashed Epstein files. It's long been known that late, Jeffrey Epstein kept a trove of files on his friends and clients. But a new report by British papers, The Telegraph, reveals that he secretly hid computers, photographs, and other equipment in storage units scattered across America. This is from Mario Knopfel. Epstein had at least 6 secret storage units across the United States full of hard drives and photos. Authorities never found them. Florida, New York, possibly New Mexico. Rented between 2003 and 2019. He paid thousands per month to hide computers, CDs, pictures, files, and here's a picture of that. Have you noticed how this news cycle is shifting and people are suddenly moving on from Epstein? It's all intentional. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Financial records and emails revealed that the dead, rented at least 6 storage lockers nationwide, some starting in 2003, and paid for them until 2019. The units were used to house items from Epstein's home, including computers and CDs from his private Caribbean island, Little St. James. So I guess our good old buddy, Cash Patel, is on the lurk. And he's figuring things out. Yeah, okay, sure. But again, Mario is a shill, bro. I don't know. Don't care. Epstein had detectives take materials from his homes into the storage facilities before police executed search warrants. His staff also discussed transporting some computers and CDs from his private island to the units and wiping them. Some of the material in the units could predate the earliest material in the Epstein files released by the DOJ, according to the publication. So that's where we are at when it comes to this, that there are multiple pictures. That's a normal picture. French modeling agent and alleged serial, Jean-Luc Brunel, very close to Les Wexner, was going to testify against Jeffrey Epstein before he was found dead in his cell in an L.A. Lasante prison. So that's out there. We're seeing storage units being found across America, which is crazy. So, Fran and Missy said, we proved this in X Spaces that this guy is a shill. I don't know. Allegedly 204,000 subscribers and only 33 are watching. What a joke. Okay, Dave Cruz. Yeah. That's called YouTube.
How many people do you have watching, Dave Cruz? Fuck you, loser.
Facts.
Anyway, so getting back onto this, though, I do think that's interesting because what we were talking about backstage as well, for those of you who were not there, where we were going through the stories, and then Thomas gives me that, and he goes, and they prove that Epstein had all of these. You go, well, no fucking duh, right? I was like, yeah, of course. Like, we both, because for us, like, people and most of the people in the chat, right? For most of us, we're like, yeah, of course this guy had contingency plans. Like, that's number one, is that this guy with billions of dollars had at least, let's say, a couple million of contingent. I mean, he could have a couple thousand, like you said, just fucking hard drives. You know how easy it is to have contingency plans if you're a fucking billionaire? And it's like, he has 6. I bet it's way more. I bet there's also like people, like many people that he paid off in his life to hold on to these things in the background. I bet there are people getting blackmailed, potentially even in our fucking government, because of this shit.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, and there's other powerful people that Epstein was like, if something happens to me, here's the shit, here's a bunch of money. And we see these guys trading money in favors. Like, Epstein lived in allegedly, just so we're clear, I think it was the Victoria's Secret owner gave him a mansion. Some guy who owned a big fashion company gave him a mansion. Allegedly, I think it's Victoria, but let's just say it's not. A big fashion company owner, like
it was
Victoria's Secret. It not fair enough. Just to make sure we're careful in our wording, though. But yeah, like that. Gave Epstein a mansion. Why? There's reasons. There's a difference. Like, if Thomas and I go out to a bar and I'm like, hey man, I got the beers this time, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, like, I'll get them. These are like mansions. This is like there's a certain point where you buy your friend dinner or a drink, you do this for someone, you give someone $20, but then there's a sell your soul level of money. And in fact, people like Asmongold talk about this a lot. I've seen other streamers who they won't accept like $5,000+ donations, because they're like, look, that seems like the amount of money that when they give you that, they're going to want something. And I kind of respect it. Now, you can send either of us $5,000 if you'd like to. We will take your money. I'm just saying, these multimillionaire streamers kind of are like, well, that seems, and I'm like, fair enough. I respect that. I get where your head's at there, and for where they are at financially, they don't technically need it. So I'll be honest. Okay, and so that's kind of why I say I think there's like we see these deals, and I'm wondering, who's like past just these storage units, what else there even is, because they're like there's 6 storage units. I'm like there's so much fucking more. And
Or
we just don't even know.
internationally storage unit or
Dude,
international storage units.
I didn't even think about that.
That as well. I mean, this guy was everywhere for sure. And
Oh
if you look,
shit, right, he's a part of the
if
other.
you look in the like Lex Wexner and all that kind of stuff, I think his name was Leslie. Is it Lex? I don't know. Who cares? But like at this point, he hired, and I saw this, that he hired the U.S. Embassy of Rome, the leader of the U.S. Embassy of Rome, to be his house manager. This is how rich Lex Wexner was.
Yeah.
Just to make sure, quote unquote, this is what he said in his testimony, that he was making sure that people weren't stealing silverware from his house. And that's one of the reasons, rather, that he hired the U.S. Embassy of Rome to watch over his home. It doesn't make any sense. This is what I'm talking about. The amount of lies coming from Mr. Wexner and many of these people, they really do believe that we are full-blown idiots. They look down upon us, look into we're goys, all this kind of stuff, the goyim, blah, 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 blah. This guy was in deep with a lot of nasty, nasty stuff. Leslie, I knew his name was Leslie. Might not even be a guy.
Wetzler.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. But this guy, he's got enough cash to be like, hey, listen, I'm going to hire the U.S. Embassy of Rome to look after my home. And I think we're going to see some more stuff. I'm kind of disappointed in what's been coming out with the Epstein information. I want to see more stuff. And by the way, I just want to congratulate everybody from 10 years ago that said that was ridiculed, that was besmirched, that was put down over and over again, saying that we're conspiracy theorists.
Congratulations.
Exactly. That we were losers looking into this, and it all comes out, and we were absolutely right. And it gets deeper and darker than it was the first time, but it is a thing. It is
also Alex Jones. I just have to say,
sure,
I'm sorry to ever have doubted Alex Jones. Holy shit. I mean, it scares me how right this guy is, because it freaks me out about other stuff he says. But like, look, this guy, I mean, he was just probably one of the big first conservative guys, just slandered, taken off everything. I mean, he was deplatformed before Trump. Let's be clear. Like, he was the test subject for deplatforming.
Facts.
And I mean, this guy got so much stuff right. Yeah, he did say the Sandy Hook thing back in the day, which was, it was a little fucked up. But to be fair, it was like, it was more of a guess. He wasn't even like, anyway, that was a little fucked up. I don't think he should have been sued for $1 billion over. That's retarded. But anyway, that being said, yeah, this guy has been talking about these billionaire blank guys doing blank on an island. It will say, guys like Epstein is what I'll say. And he's been screaming this for years. And it's just, everyone was like, that's like, when I heard that, I was like, that's just like movie stuff, and here we are literally talking about the evidence of all of this.
IRL.
I mean, that's
for sure. What he's been talking about. Trump One, I want to thank you for the cookie. I appreciate it. Zach from Tennessee with the can. Welcome back, Tom. Hope you're doing better. Back to business. Is there a storm brewing? I think so. Let's go. Thank you, Zach from Tennessee. Judy Lady Pug, the greatest name in the game. Thank you for the cookie. Trusty Turnip with the cookie. Welcome back, gentlemen. Thank you for being here, True Crew. Zach from Tennessee with the can. In the big picture, Epstein files are about a golf ball sized spot on the deep state mapping project. Honestly, kind of a small fish in a big picture of crime and corruption. Well, I mean, this is the thing that even normies are talking about now, is that if this gets out, if they start naming people, guess what's going to happen? You're going to see the fall of an international economy. Worlds will be colliding, as George Costanza would say. Worlds are colliding. So I'm telling you, it's reaching a lot of massive amounts of normies. And guess what? They're being blackpilled like I was back in 2010. And you start realizing the world ain't what it is. All right?
Yeah.
The world ain't what it is. And it's a sad situation, but we hopefully will get, I mean, if anything, and I mean this, and I just thought of it just now, if anything, if nothing happens, what do you gain from it? Normies, NPCs. Maybe in the end you gain faith. Maybe in the end you find out there's a higher power and you can walk through life a little easier, and you can go enjoy your things, and you don't have to focus on all of this. Maybe that's the end game. Maybe it's a faith, a premonition of faith coming our way for a country that has lost a lot of faith, that believes going through the early 2000s, mid 2000s, that why must we all think that Christianity, why is it always being besmirched? Why is it always being made fun of? Why is it that? It's not Buddhism. It's not Judaism.
Not allowed to do that.
It's not anything.
You're not allowed to do anything other than Christians. That's the other thing. It's not like it's even
because it's powerful and it's real.
Right. Well, the thing is too, it's like there used to be like with, let's say, South Park before they sold out. South Park used to do a good job of like hitting everyone in a way that you're like, we can all laugh at ourselves, right?
Sure.
That's fine. Cool. But like that, of course they sold out at a certain point. So I'm not, but like there was this little period where it was all good. And it was like, hey, look, you know what? We can live alongside each other, whatever, do your thing. But like it is truly become this weird thing that I notice. And we both live in South Carolina. We'll just say that. So it's like, we live in the South. Like this is what people consider the Bible Belt. Even here, it's started to become more like cool to be atheist and cool to be like, yeah, Christians they suck, man. They're bad. They're all, and I'm just like, and the irony is like, if you were to talk to these people and be like, oh, so what if I said that about like, you know, I don't even want to say it for the show purpose. What if I said that about fill in blank here group of people are bad? All of them are bad. Think about all blank are bad. Are we fucking like we've gotten there, and then we're not allowed to. Again, it can only be Christians, and especially white Christians. You know, everyone else is, if you're not white, you're allowed to be a Christian, is what I've figured.
No, I totally get that, but for everyone
crazy
to really kind of, you know, look at a big picture from the early 2000s, comedy, late night shows, anything that was on television, it was mocked and ridiculed for if you were a Christian, you were an idiot to believe, and it was the same thing over and over again. There's a guy in the sky with a big white beard playing a harp. You believe that? No, I don't believe that, stupid. I don't believe that at all. Like once you have it and you get it and you walk with it, you understand there is something more to just this craziness and negativity. And why, again, ask yourselves, why is it the only one that is besmirched? Islamists are not. Radical Islamic people are less ridiculed than faith-based Christians.
Yeah.
That is the world that we live in.
Normal Christian guy, like Charlie Kirk. Like Charlie Kirk was like the most normal dude you see at church every Sunday. Just like his belief wise, like he's a powerhouse. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like his faith and stuff, like his faith and beliefs were not crazy. It was just like he was a faith-based man, God first, and I was like, I respect that. I feel you. Right. He just happened to be. But my point is, he's the same faith base as, but like when he died, the people, you villain, he was a horrible, evil man. He believed in Christianity. And it was like, oh my God. And yet all of these same people, like you said, or the many illegal people here that are violently doing things, they're literally like, yeah, no, violent criminals are okay, or violent extremists of a certain belief. But if you're a normal Christian guy with a wife and some kids and a guy who pays your bills and pays your taxes, all that, just a good, outstanding citizen, then fuck you is wild to me. Like,
well, that's what we were talking about.
Fathom.
What we were talking about before we went live.
Yeah, right.
The possession. The possession.
Yes.
Are these people even human at this point? And you've come across these people. I know that you have, whether you're at a restaurant, a bar, a baseball game, a hockey rink, whatever it may be, and you come across these people, they don't act like people. So think about these elites that are doing the worst things imaginable. We're talking, dark web stuff. That was, I've seen plenty of that back in the day. 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. When the internet was wide open, you would see all this stuff, and you're like, oh, that's interesting. You would watch a video, and then you would go eat bagel bites, and then you would go play basketball, and then you would go to bed, and you'd be like, oh, God, I remember what I just watched on my friend's computer just a few hours ago, and then you're forever changed. You're forever desensitized to this stuff.
I remember the night at my friend Jacob's house. I remember like one of those very nights to this day. I still remember the video.
Forever
that was
changed.
when Live Leak was around. Yeah.
Oh, Live Leak. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Live Leak was, Does anyone in the chat remember Live Leak? That was great stuff. I'm joking. Well,
and one thing you liked, don't look it up if you don't know it, guys. It's not worth it. It's just bad stuff.
No,
but anyway, yes. Well, it doesn't exist anymore either. But just no need to even Google it. But you liked the term as well, because I say this a lot. So like it's like a husk of people, right? Like, so I truly think
love
of
that
it
wording.
Like from a
husk of a man is what you said.
Yeah. So, and that's what I feel about people like Epstein and things. And say what you will, because we're talking about sort of like demonic spirits of some sort, right? And I was saying like what I feel like it is to me is almost like, and I was kind of going into like a vampire, like let's just say mythology wise, just to kind of explain my thoughts. Like a vampire, this person who's infected by someone else, and a vampire is effectively a zombie with no soul. Like that's the whole lore of a vampire. They are a demon who lost their soul, lost their humanity. And that's kind of what I consider these people. It is just like they are, minus the whole, fangs and blood, but they drink blood. I mean, a lot of these people drink blood. Epstein might have been eating people. That's what I'm saying is like, so vampire, not that far off is the weird part to me. And I think of these people as that a lot, because I'm like, it is truly like, it's just on the outside, there's this thing, but inside of you, it's like, it's almost like hollow. It's fucking wild to me. And yeah, you said you meet these people, like you see and interact with them. We've all done it where we're talking to someone and we're like, so what do you like to do? Well, I don't really like TV or any, I don't like, okay. Do you like sports? Not really. It's like, what the fuck do you do with your time? Like, you don't read, you don't go to church, you don't
go to protests,
anything, right? Yes, that's the same people, because literally they're never doing shit. They're just sitting around, maybe scrolling TikTok or whatever, and then they get an opportunity to get paid to go to protests. Yeah, exactly. And like, and I've seen, and it's a lot of younger people I talk to also. Like I was talking to like my friend's sister who's like 24-ish, and I was trying to be like nice, and like he had a party at his house, and so she was like there, and I was just talking to her for a second. I was like, so like, what do you like, trying to gauge something? And again, I asked the same things. I was like, so she didn't like I don't really like movies. I don't really watch TV. Again, I don't like sports. It's, and I'm not being like sit and only watch movies, but like doesn't read, there's just no hobbies, right? It's like I do probably watch too much TV for those of you who don't know, my other bigger channel is like I analyze and break down film and television. But like that being said, like that's my hobby. I do plenty outside of that. But if you were to be like, what's your hobby? Well, that's that, or talking about news and this kind of stuff we do here. But like when you ask a lot of these kids their hobby or a thing they enjoy, just like try to get, that's how you start with someone and then move to a thing. It's like there's nothing, there's just it's, and I'm not even calling these kids demons, but they're lifeless. Yeah, like it's almost like they are sucking the souls out of these children. I know this sounds crazy, but it's like this generation's like losing their souls to this shit, and it's scary. And like it really is unbelievable, because I was again, this girl is 24, she's a nice kid, she's my friend's sister. I was again just trying to be nice, and we were just standing there talking, and I was just like, and like Thomas, like you're not the friendliest guy to meet at first, and we hit it off immediately the first night we met, because we were like we were like, and to be fair, you're a reserved guy, as we both kind of are, but because we had friends of friends, I was like, oh no, I had already known about who you are, and I was digging up things, and then that first night we were like, dude, let's do a show, let's do a podcast. So it's like, it's not like I'm not good at talking to people, or like this person who's like I'm usually able to at least get, okay, you do this, that's fun, I don't care about it, but good for you. But literally she goes, I guess I just mostly scroll TikTok. Boom, there it is.
With her dead black eyes. Yeah, I don't.
Literally, yes.
Yeah, she has scleras. Anybody knows what that is, look that up into the chat for sure. You're absolutely right. When it comes to these youngins, it's very disturbing. Let's move on to Mexico, and I see this is a new name. Pinsy Luck Hijack, if I'm getting that right. Hijack, we'll just say. I always told my friends who suggest Mexico for vacation, this would happen someday. Now Mexico will never have tourists again. And as we can see from Miss Sheinbaum, sounds Mexican to me. No, it does not.
I was going to say that.
A Mexican senator went on Fox News alleging deep cartel ties from the Mexico's president, Claudia Sheinbaum. She claims, really? By the way, does anybody remember that 10 people that were running for president or of the country all died?
How many died? Yeah.
It was like 10 plus, maybe 12.
Like, we're surprised. Yeah. Like, and again, this is back to that episode where it's like, we all knew this. It's just so
you're taking over a corrupt cartel ran country. And and then all of a sudden we have a JOO step into a position of power in Mexico, of all places, folks. That is backed up to us. By the way, I don't trust Canada and I don't trust Mexico, so take that to the bank. She claims elected officials are being protected, critics are being threatened, and cartel violence is tightening its grip. Well, you're allowing it to be. Cartel power must be confronted. The violence and corruption cannot be ignored. And, that is where we stand right now, to be honest with you. And just to show you guys, today's episode is 100% Claudia Sheinbaum is allowing the cartel to operate and kill. And that is 100% truth. Whether you believe it or not, it is 100% true. If I get sued for it, I get sued for it. I don't care at this point, to be honest with
Fuck
any
that
of
bitch.
you.
I'll back you up. Claudia Sheinbaum is definitely Jewish, and she's definitely worked with the cartel. Fuck you, bitch.
Cartel violence is being allowed in Mexico because President Claudia Sheinbaum works for the cartel. As you guys can see right here, why is it not shifting? Oh, okay, there it goes. That was weird. So as you guys can see right here, that a senator from Mexico went on Fox News and exposed it all. The president of Mexico works for the cartels. She was funded by money from the cartels. It's not just the president. There are an entire group of Mexican, let me blow this up for you so that you can see. Okay, I guess that doesn't work anymore. Nothing works. That's fine. A group of Mexican politicians labeled the narco politicians. Wow. Mexico is a narco state. Mexicans are afraid of the alliance between the Mexican government and the cartels, which they should be. And if you look at it, it looks like something that is taking place in Afghanistan. It does not look like a safe place at all. When you see cars exploding, buildings exploding, and then you see people walking down the sandy beaches of Mexico, what in God's name are you talking about? This is insane. It is really happening. I've seen videos today. Once they get elected, the deal is for the Mexican government to then protect the cartels. The president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo, doesn't want this information getting out. Mexicans and the politicians who are on a no paid off by the cartels want Donald Trump to help with the cartels. The Mexico senator exposing all of this is now saying that she is being threatened with prison without speaking out. The president has threatened me to proceed against me with criminal prosecution to get me out of the Senate and to get me in jail because I told you in this space in Fox News. And now the assassination of Uruapan Mayor Carlos Manzo, an own cartel critic. The cartel runs the Mexican government. Good Christ.
Calling Mexican Senator Lili Tellez a traitor for coming on Fox Noticias with me a few days ago and saying this.
Sorry, I'm
Listen.
just adjusting my window, but they also
The help
have
from the United
for
States to
fucking
fight
ever,
the
right?
cartels in Mexico is absolutely welcome, and that is how the majority of Mexicans feel. The only ones who don't like that President Trump is sending help and trying to support Mexicans against the cartels are the narco politicians. That includes President Sheinbaum.
Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum responding, saying, quote, "It's not a minor issue that a senator gave an interview to a foreign media outlet calling for intervention." Here to discuss is that Mexican Senator Lili Tellez. Senator Tellez, welcome to Fox Noticias. I'm just going to get right to it. Is Mexico a narco state?
Yes, it is. And we all Mexicans know about it. And Mexicans are afraid of the alliance between the Mexican government and the cartels that have infested our nation.
Can you explain this alliance between the president, her party, the Morena party, and the cartels?
Yes, the party has financed, has given, the cartels have given so much money to these politicians, narco politicians of Morena, to get into office, to get the power. So they protect. The Mexican government protects the cartels. That is why President Sheinbaum doesn't want the strong American leadership to help Mexico defeat the cartels. And also Sheinbaum doesn't want the rest of the world to know what is happening here in Mexico. We are on the steps to be the next Venezuela. She is aligned with Venezuela's dictator, with Cuba, and we are losing our country. They have destroyed our Republican institutions, the democratic state, and we must, I think we all Mexicans want and welcome the support of the United States to assist Mexican people against the cartels that have us all in this.
If, to be honest, everyone out there listening, if this woman right here, Miss Tellez, goes missing, would anybody be surprised? Would anybody be surprised if this woman went missing in the next week or two for what she is saying right now?
Oh, she's
a Mexican senator saying that we need the help of the United States. Yes, this is a narco state. Yes, we are a problem. If she goes missing, would anyone be surprised? Not a good thing, Freddie. Not a good thing at all.
She's brave. Honestly, I respect the fuck out of her, though. I gotta give her credit.
I understand. Let's continue on.
The crisis with the traffic in fentanyl and migrants.
So her response to this, and I know this because her spokesperson came on our show in response to your interview, and they say, well, we just turned over 26 cartel members. We're working, we're sharing intelligence. What are they not doing? And why is she so resistant? She sort of speaks out of two sides of her mouth. We're working with you, Trump, and then she's chastising you for saying, we need more help from the United States to crush the cartels?
Because she really
Great
doesn't
question.
want the help of the United States. She is lying to Mexican people, telling Mexican people that the United States will get in control of the whole country.
Right.
I never listened such nonsense from President Trump. What we have listened is that President Trump wants to help Mexican people against the cartels. Mexican people are suffering. So what they do is very, very little. We have huge narco politicians here in the Senate, in the presidents, governors. Mexico is a very dangerous place.
Well, that brings me to my next question, because you are speaking very bluntly, very clearly about Mexico being a narco state and the alliance and the connections to the president of Mexico. Are you afraid for your life?
Yes, I am afraid. And the president has threatened me to proceed against me with criminal prosecution, to get me out of the Senate and get me in jail, just because I told you in this space and Fox News what is the reality of our country with the cartels. The cartels are dominating everything here in Mexico. They are in all the offices of the government, in the states, in the cities, and in the national government. So, of course, I am afraid, but I want people to know I will not step back. And I pray under God's guidance that we, the United States and Mexico, must work together to defeat the cartels and to get freedom for our country, for Mexico, to stop it from being the next Venezuela.
Well, you're already there, to be honest, which is not good at all. But, when it comes to this, everyone's saying, yeah, while calling out, yes, she's been speaking out. It is very risky. And it is. Mexicans would be richer and would have their natural resources utilized far better if things were, put into account. And I totally understand that. That's where we're at. People are saying good for her. Criminal prosecution, ? Shake my head. People on YouTube are saying prayers for this woman. You don't. In all honesty, it will not be the president putting her into a jail cell. It will be her sending the cartels to this woman's front door, Freddie. That's what I think.
Definitely. Well, and you know what? I've got to say this, and I know it's not going to happen, but in the pretend world, it does. If a woman like that was the president of Mexico, then I would be like, you know what? Mexico is my ally. But as we talked about earlier, I truly do not believe, and I just want to put this out. I think a lot of us agree. I don't think we have any allies. I do not believe, and everyone's gonna be like, well, no, this is our ally. This is no. I mean, even fucking England, look at what is happening over there.
UK.
Like they are, yeah, exactly. I don't even want to, we don't have enough time. We all know. My point is like that's the thing is like there is no one who has got our back anymore, because they're all sort of, we're the big kid on the block and they're sort of all plotting against us. I feel like even Canada really is not even close to an ally of ours anymore.
No.
As you mentioned, by the way, but they keep getting this pass, which we will get to. I was going to say, we will get to that. So I'm not going to spoil that too much, but I only bring that up because it's going to be relevant as we go. But yeah, I am for Tellez, however they want to say it, whatever they say, Tortilla. I miss Tortilla. I appreciate her. I do. Like I said, if we can get someone like that into the presidency of Mexico by some miracle, the fact that she's in their Senate, it's good to see. I will say that is actually one of the most like positive things I've ever seen come out of Mexico in my life. But just someone up there saying that, because here's the other thing is, I don't think the everyday Mexican citizen hates us or like wants. I kind of feel like it's a lot of the same, where it's like, yeah, there's a bunch of like really dangerous and lawless people there, but there's definitely a bunch of like normal families who want to chill. And it's like, if we all can gang up on the assholes, I'm fine with that. If everyone just agrees, hey, we go after the cartels, yeah, okay, cool. Like, then I'm fine with it. I'll again, you can be my brother, whatever. Like, I'd love to have them as an ally. But yeah, I mean, the reality is, I don't think that's going to hit the presidency, though. I am hopeful for this. So I'm glad to see that.
I agree. Moving on with this. As you can see, like I was telling you guys, I don't know why this is not working. I don't know, I think I broke my keyboard. Let's go ahead and get into this. The same people doing this in Mexico are the same people that ICE is trying to detain and deport. Remember that.
Yep.
And that's what it is. You know, just everything on fire, people waiting to get out. Imagine, again, just like our friend in the chat was saying that, you know, listen, is anybody visiting Mexico at this point? I pray to God you're not. You're on a work vacation, they land you, and, you know, you want a nice vacation, and then this is what you wind up in? Holy Lord.
I'm sorry to laugh, but my God, I mean, like, it's like a movie. It couldn't be any more, because again, they're over here being like, well, fuck you, Mexico's better. And I'm like, okay, bye. Yeah, I don't know why you want to live here illegally then if it's way better. And then you see the reality of it. It's like, yeah, we were saying the whole time this is the best fucking country in the world. And these, the Michael Bublé bus on fire was so fucking funny. I mean, I just kind of like, yeah, one of the buses just has Michael Bublé's.
Oh my God, it does. Michael Bublé right there, as you guys can see.
That broke me. I'm just like, it's so funny. Like, I mean, wow, that is. I mean, it's like a film, right? Like a like a post-apocalypse movie. Apocalypse movie.
Trump once
like
says
the bombs just went off.
Americans told to stay to shelter if they are in place in Mexico. Good God, could you imagine how terrifying that would be? Third eye is a gravity eye. Tom, I love your show. So you were so good at this. Thank you, Third Eye. I appreciate that. Give some love out there to Freddie as well for coming on Mondays for sure. Might be back tomorrow. We're going to talk about it. And I think Brett's out of town. So moving on, as we can see here. Why won't that work? There are thousands of cartel operatives in the United States. Thousands of cartel operatives in the United States. The Department of Homeland Security is the department tasked with finding, arresting, and removing them. Democrats had defunded the Department of Homeland Security. That was last night at 11 o'clock. And then we can see the pickup right here. Fucking listen up. Stephen Miller just dropped the hammer. Thousands of cartel operatives, Sonolia, and CGNG savages, fentanyl cooks, human traffickers, stone cold killers are swarming every single one of the 50 states. Not some, not border states, every fucking one. The DEA's own threat assessment confirms it. These animals have networks in your neighborhood, your kids' schools, your grocery store parking lots. The Department of Homeland Security exists for one lethal purpose right now. Find them, arrest them, remove them. For sure. Remove them like the vermin that they are. And what do Democrats do? These treasonous, power-drunk psychopaths defund the Department of Homeland Security in the middle of a shutdown they deliberately caused. February 14th, while the country was still reeling from their last border bloodbath, they blocked every clean funding bill, demanding judicial handcuffs on ICE. Sensitive locations. Bullshit. to protect their invaders and basically told American law enforcement to go F themselves. Now, TSA heroes, Coast Guard warriors, FEMA responders are working without pay while cartel scouts operate with zero interference. This isn't politics. This is psychological warfare against the American soul. These Democrats aren't confused. Their brains are wired for national suicide. Wow. Their brains are wired for national suicide. A deep, venomous pathology where sovereignty equals racism, enforcement equals cruelty, and cartel cash flooding blue cities equals compassion. It's Trump derangement fused with replacement theory on steroids. God, that is such a good sentence as well. Flood the zone with dependents who'll vote blue forever. Erode the rule of law until the only ones left standing are the globalists and their elitists standing their ground and importing their foot soldiers. Their hate is strong. Secure America because it exposes their weakness, their failure, their decades of deliberate sabotage. Every dead American from fentanyl, every you-know-what child, touch child, we'll say, at the hands of an MS-13 animal, every community turned into a war zone. That's not collateral damage to them. That's the feature. Stephen Miller is calling for it exactly for what it is. Democrats didn't negotiate poorly. They chose to defund the only department standing between us and the total cartel colonization. They chose open borders over American lives. They chose their power, their ideology, their donor class over your safety. This is lethal betrayal at the highest level. Pure evil dressed in human rights drag. No more excuses, no more mercy. Deport them all, defund the traitors, secure the republic, or watch it die at the hands of the very people sworn to protect it. So, we can talk on that. No more excuses, no more mercy. Deport them all, defund the traitors, secure the republic, or watch it die at the hands of the very people sworn to protect it. Does anybody give a damn about what just happened with the tariffs? About SCOTUS and pulling back the tariffs? Does anyone care about our cities failing and fentanyl being flooded into America? Has that stopped? Again, this isn't a border thing anymore. This is in every state in America. Stone cold killers, human traffickers, fentanyl cookers in every one of the 50 states. Unbelievable. How can you even have sympathy for Congress, for the Supreme Court, for anything at this point? Why? They're not standing up for you, so why stand up for them? And I don't want to say burn the whole thing down. I don't want that to happen. I don't want to see. We've been at the mercy of this for so many decades, and it's still the exact same thing. It's disgusting. Freddie, your thoughts on that? Because we're going to get into the Supreme Court. We're going to get into some other things as well. That this is all in every 50
have to be
states.
honest. Yeah, I have to be honest. I think you really nailed it, and you nailed the exact, like, I have the same feelings as you on this. I really can't add much because, yep, you're absolutely right. Like, this shit it's, and that's, I guess what I will add to this is the drug thing as well is another one of those poisons on our society. The normalization of such, like, extreme shit. You know what I mean? Like and like how easy it is to get. Because, like, when I lived, I'll say this, when I lived in Philly, like in any
Avenue.
big city, oh my God. Like, I mean, I've been to Kensington in person. It's it's as bad as it looks online. It's worse. Like when you drive through there, you're like, you're concerned. Like, look, I lived in Philly all the time. I would walk home at 2, 3 a.m. be fine because like I'm not really a big target. I'm a fairly large person in person, and it's like I'm not really the easy like the target there necessarily anyone's going after. At a late night, and like I really hadn't gotten held up, and I like walked around at late night. But like I also knew where I was walking. So I was walking on like Broad Street, which is like the main street in Philly, or like, like I was walking on streets that weren't like that. But yeah, once you get to certain areas, you're just basically asking to get stabbed and robbed and get like these are not again, going back to the husk, these are not humans. Like there is no communicating with them. They have destroyed their brains beyond like the fact they're casually doing fentanyl like with which a pinky, like an accidental dose, if you just brushed up against some and got in your pinky, like
happens to cops
just
all the time.
asphyxiate you.
I've seen those videos.
Yeah. Yep. And it literally does. And that's the other fear. So it's like, yeah, it is truly just and I sound so fucking old now, but it really is just like shit like TikTok, the casualness of drugs, and like the overuse and overdoing of certain things. Like, it's cool to have a drink or two or whatever, and that kind of thing. But there is just some shit you don't fuck with, and at a certain point, people have started fucking with it, I guess is the best way I could put that. But yeah, let's jump on to the next one. I think I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, we can go ahead and do that right now. So again, we'll move further into this, talking about the Supreme Court. So Lutnick, and a lot of people have pulled this out. If you don't know what this gentleman looks like, that's him right there. Now, I do remember very specific videos where people were talking about Lutnick and saying that this guy is very strange. The way that he presents himself on Air Force One, he's on Air Force One all the time. He's it's almost like someone kind of peeking outside of a door frame, making sure that President Trump is saying the correct things. Handler? I don't know. I might get some hate for that, but it's very weird what's going on with this guy. So the Supreme Court just ruled Trump's tariffs are illegal. Guess who's about to make a fortune off of it? Lutnick swindles America again. Cantor Fitzgerald, the firm now run by the Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick's son, has been buying up the rights to the tariffs and their refunds from U.S. importers at pennies on the dollar. Here's how the scheme works. U.S. companies paid billions in tariffs that are now ruling they're illegal. Cantor approaches those companies and says, hey, I'll give you 25 cents on the dollar if you're owned refunds. Companies take the quick cash rather than wait years for the legal process. When the refunds come through, Cantor collects the full dollar. Lutnick divested from Cantor by handling it to his 20-something sons and placing his equity in a trust for those same sons. He paid zero capital gain tax on the transfer. As Commerce Secretary, Lutnick has direct visibility into the government's legal strategy, how their lawyers rate their odds and what arguments they'll make. His family's firm is betting against the very tariffs, plural, his boss created. They bought at 25 cents on the dollar, and after today's Supreme Court ruling, those rights could be worth 80 to 90 cents on the dollar. Almost a pure profit. The potential payout could be in the billions. This is insider trading with extra steps. Mm-hmm. So again, this guy is not one to be chosen, not one to be looked at, not one to be picked. And he's always in the background. I remember probably, I don't know, it was a few months ago, and people were talking about, maybe 6 months ago, people were talking about Lutnick and the way that he's always around President Trump. I don't know when it comes to him. But when it comes to Donald J. Trump on True Social, the Supreme Court will be using lowercase letters for a while based on the complete lack of respect, that's funny, of the United States accidentally and unwittingly gave me. As President of the United States, far more powers and strength than I had prior to their ridiculous, dumb, and very internationally divisive ruling. For one thing, I can use licenses to do absolutely terrible things to foreign countries, especially those countries that have been ripping us off for many decades. But incomprehensibly, according to the ruling, can't charge them a license fee, but all licenses charge fees. Why can't the United States do so? You do a license to get a fee. The opinion doesn't explain that, but I know the answer. The court has also approved of all other tariffs, of which there are many, and they can all be used in much more powerful and obnoxious ways with legal certainty than the tariffs as initially used. Basically saying, like, I'll just go balls to the wall with all of this, with all of these tariffs. You thought it was okay before? You thought it was kind of a pain in the ass somewhat before? Look at what I'm about to do. The next thing you know, they will rule in favor of China and others who are making an absolute fortune on birthright citizenship by saying that the 14th Amendment was not written to take care of the babies of slaves. Wow. Which it was proven to be the exact timing of its construction, filing, and ratification, which perfectly coincided with, in quote, the end of the Civil War. How much better can you do than that? But this Supreme Court, Freddie, will find a way to come up to the wrong solution and the wrong conclusion. One that, again, will make China and various other nations happy and rich. Let our Supreme Court keep making decisions that are so bad and very strange word, and deleterious to the future of our nation. I have a job to do. Make America great again, President Donald J. Trump. Does anyone out there, honest to God, believe in it? I mean, I'm asking you, chat. Does anyone out there, honest to God, believe in the Supreme Court at this point? That they're pulling back 10% tariffs. I remember at one point, there was 150% tariffs on China. There was no problem with that. But now 10% tariffs? This is now a problem? Who got to them? Who threatened them? And I guarantee you that is 100% the problem. Somebody threatened these people. Freddie, your thoughts on this when it comes to these tariffs?
Yeah, no, that's it's just got me in thought. That's the thing, is like, this is one of those things that I'm just, I haven't really dug that much into this story. Obviously, you'd sent them to me. I skimmed today's stories, but man, I mean, the fact that shit is legal. That thing is, I'm just sitting here kind of like taking it all in. Like, man, this story really stresses me out, actually, because I obviously agree with tariffs, especially because people are tariffing us. So it's not like the idea that like we're the bad guys tariffing these countries. Oh, these poor countries with no money that we're tariffing, oh my God, it is ridiculous. And so I definitely, support tariffs. I support actually at least reciprocal tariffs. Again, if they want to play that game, we'll play the game. But I mean, I didn't realize things worked like this with tariffs, to be honest. Like, these people, the way they're making money, I mean, that's frankly absurd. I guess that's all I can say. It is frankly fucking absurd.
Well, it is. And, when it comes to these tariffs, again, there was not a problem before. Susan O.B. says Supreme Court compromised. Okay, we can say that they're compromised. How are they compromised? Had they done something illegal behind the scenes? Had they accepted money? Or are they being threatened in real time? What are your thoughts on that? That's what I want the chat to talk about, because to me, it seems as though, why would you, if there was a problem before or wasn't a problem before with something that is 140 times worse in other countries, China, why is 10% such a bad thing? Why the sudden change? Something had to have happened. And that's where we're at. And that makes me very uncomfortable. And that goes back to what you say, Susan O.B. Are they compromised? Kavanaugh gave Trump the way to go through the tariffs legally. But the other 8 did not? What was the vote on this? Does anybody know? Does anybody know the vote? I don't want to do the chat GTP thing.
That's a good
Trusty Turnip also says, why don't we audit all their bank accounts? That sounds fantastic to me. Do it that way.
For real, though, yeah. I mean, the fact they're not, like Nancy Pelosi, allegedly, just check her bank account.
Yeah. Got to check it.
Man, this one fucks me up. I'm not going to lie. Like, the reason I'm quiet and just sitting here, like, looking off, like, pondering is like, man, this is a black pilling kind of story, to be honest. Because I'm like, wow.
You've always trusted the Supreme? I have not.
No, I don't. You kind of know my philosophy, and it really is, if I can't look you in the eyes and shake your hand, I never have 100% trust for you. And I say this with all love to everyone in the chat. Like, I appreciate
6-3 was the vote. Wow.
God damn. And that's the thing is, like, yeah, I appreciate everyone in the chat and those who support regularly. Like, I know who I can, trust and remember that. But, like, truly, like, my biggest thing, like, part of why us starting this show is a cool thing is because I don't love working closely with people that I can't know. So I'm not really a big guy of like, yeah, I want to work with a guy across the world. It's better that I could, have a co-host I can meet up with and have a beer and we can talk, just like I know you. And so again, anyone I don't know, I don't trust at all. And
Sure.
So yeah, I've never trusted literally any politician, but it's blackpilling to see how many ways they're fucking us, because there's so many other ways they're fucking us. And this tariff thing, I was really like, you know what, the tariffs, again, I'm pro tariff, especially reciprocal tariffs. That's not a bad idea. It's more of a negotiation tactic than anything. Fine. And that being said, like, this is just one of those, it's like, wow, it really is that bad.
It's dark.
Sometimes.
And it's a thing that we, before I brought you on to the show and all these, we would talk about this all the time of like, do we honest to God trust the Supreme Court? No, absolutely not. There's no way that we do. We thought that President Trump had a handle on this and maybe that they were not compromised, but when doing with this, it's very weird. After the Supreme Court ruling, Trump put an extra 10% across the board. That's what it was, Biblical Smackdown. Thank you for that. The only tariffs that we would have to return actually belong to we the people. Good God in heaven. Okay, yeah. Take it out of the middle class, of course. Absolutely insane to think that way. My Supreme D Rannon says my Supreme Court comment canceled out from True chat board. I did not do that. I think you did it yourself or something. That did not happen. I didn't even see it. So put it back in there. D Rannon. Put it back in there if you want to. Tell me what you think about the Supreme Court. I just got this, and I wanted to. This is kind of going back to the beginning of the podcast. President Trump releases his first statement on the intruder who was shot dead at his home. President Trump was just given his thoughts on the recent armed intruder who was shot dead at the Secret Service after breaching a perimeter at Mar-a-Lago Estate. At the time of the shooting, Martin pointed a shotgun at Secret Service agents and had a gas can. Now President Trump has addressed this. Is there a video? Here we go. Let's take a listen.
I don't know how long I'll be around. Got a lot of people gunning for me, don't I? Huh? But I will not forget them. I'm never going to forget them.
So now, as you guys can hear that just in, I know it was a little low, but that's just the volume of the video. Now we have some context to this. Let's go back and listen to this one more time, Freddie.
I don't know how long I'll be around. Got a lot of people gunning for me, don't I? Huh? But I will not forget them. I'm never going to forget them.
Zach from Tennessee with the can. It was okay for Obama to use them like Trump was, for the record. More exposure to the backfire on the Supreme Court and Obama, we win again. Maybe. I don't know what to think about this. Yeah. Oh, that's right. This is another thing. Thank you, D. Rannon. I wanted to, if you don't want to do 4 o'clock tomorrow, I will be streaming the State of the Union. If you want to hop on that, and we might get Brett on here, maybe another person to hop on.
What time is that?
I believe. Does anybody know the time? I think it's 8:30.
I should be good for that.
I think it's 8:30.
You know, I'll check after the show,
For
but
the
I should
State
be
of the
good for
Union.
that. I'll see why not. Yeah.
I'd like to see what he has to say, especially after this statement. I don't like how the crowd laughs. I understand he's being jokey. I don't know how long I'll be around. People are gunning for me. Now we have a context to what was said. This just came out. Okay, about 4 hours ago. So that's where we're at. The president, who survived 2 assassination attempts in 2024, joked that maybe he should be a bit less consequential in order to stop drawing such attention. You read about all these crazy shooters, but they only go after consequential presidents. He said at his Angel Families event at the White House, they don't go after non-consequential presidents. Citing Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy, Trump reiterated, they were consequential, adding, they only go after the consequential, so maybe I want to be a little less consequential. Your thoughts on that?
I think that with Trump's style and seeing him laugh like that, I do think that I take it more as a joke because he has been, people have tried to get him twice, right? So
he's been shot.
Yeah, literally. Yes, literally. Exactly. Right. Like, it's how soon we forget, right, that the guy has been shot. But I think that said, it was funny with Trump's new Trump humor, where he's a little more reserved, a little older, a little wiser. I actually thought that was well done. Although I do think that I see what you're saying, where it's like, it is, he's got to be careful with his language because he doesn't want to show weakness. I do appreciate your perspective there as well, because it's the president of the fucking United States. Like there's no room for showing even an accidental moment of weakness. So yeah, that's my thought.
Yeah, I think the laughter at the end, but saying that you're putting names in like Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy, like,
True.
I'm just going to be honest. If President Trump is gunned down, killed, you're going to see mass chaos.
Yeah.
It's not going to be okay. You're going to see people celebrating, coming together, colliding like an asteroid with people who really, really care.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be something of the fold of a Charlie Kirk incident times 1,000, times 10,000.
Yeah. Times like a million. Yeah, like it will be so uncomfortable and fucked for a while. Like we would fuck things up. Like, especially like, oh my God. I'm trying to put myself in that reality. Like hopefully not. But that would, that would basically be a civil war. That's let's just be honest.
That's
I
what
mean,
they want.
basically.
That's what the movies are on Netflix about, that were produced by
true.
Obama, that they won a civil
Very
war.
true.
And that's
they
what
literally
happens.
made that Civil War movie that was sucked ass the other year. Like, yeah, that was exactly like that. Like the conservative rednecks are the bad guys, the guys with guns, more conservative
so
military
crazy.
guys are
So
the
crazy.
bad. They're the bad ones. Like, fuck you for having military training, you piece of shit. Like, that's the movie, not me. I love my military.
Does anybody know what time the State of the Union is tomorrow? Please let me know in the chat. I'd really appreciate it. For sure. Conley says no Civil War, clean and swift. Over there on Rumble. Conley keeping it up to date. Maybe this was a smokescreen, and the conservative justices want Trump to ticket them harder, going the route laid out by Kavanaugh. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Let's go into this. And I want to show you guys this for sure. I don't know why this all of a sudden starts working again, but it does. Yay. By the way, guys, 5,000 gold pill challenge over there on Pilled. Would really appreciate it. And also, Freddie, where can they find you? We're not done yet, but I'm just letting you know. Let's go ahead while we got some peeps in here.
Yeah, Freddie Colton is like where I talk about movies and stuff, and then my political channel is Freddieology, Freddie with an IE-ology. Yeah, I talk about most like this stuff we would talk about on here. I'll probably even be, like we were talking about doing some maybe clips and stuff for that, but yeah, very, very similar topics and
have me on.
You guys have an idea. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. No, we're definitely going to do something. And yeah, I mean, you guys know my opinions on shit. It's I'm pretty much aligned with most all of you, if anything, maybe a little more milk toast than some of you, but I respect it. I do respect it. But yeah, man. And don't forget Noble Gold.
Yes. Hit that up. Noble Gold.
Our
that
best
is
friends.
TRUreportinggold.com. Hit that up. Biblical Smackdown. I thought it was at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Man, I would love to have you and Brett on at the same time, and we can just take some notes and just watch what took place, for sure.
Okay, I'll plan to at least swing by then for like the
now
first
people are
part of it.
saying 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, State of the Union.
We'll figure out. I'm not too busy tomorrow night, I don't think. Realistically.
Well, neither is billionaire Alex Karp, CEO of Palantir rather, tells investors that the company kills its enemies. Okay, does anybody know what Palantir is? Well, it's going to be the future, and it's coming our way. During a recent phone call with investors, billionaire Palantir CEO Alex Karp, you know what that last word means, his last name, smiled and said, Palantir is here to disrupt and make the institutions we partner with the very best in the world, and when it's necessary, to scare enemies, on occasion, we kill them. The CEO added that he was very proud of the work his firm is doing and that he felt it was good for America. I understand that you could say, oh, they're building drones. Oh, they're putting out things that are able to keep our adversaries at bay because we can keep a firm eye on them and make sure that we have a hammer fist ready to go. But to smile and smirk about killing people is very insane to me. They use AI weapon systems, Freddie. Battlefield autonomy, surveillance, infrastructure, military coordination, and tools. Karp wants the fusion of tech and AI surveillance in our own government. Kim Iverson explained how the military-industrial complex took control of our government, and she said that the tech giants are now also taking control, and I 100% agree with her. We are going down a road, folks, that we do not want to be a part of, where you're going to be making about $70,000 to do nothing but sit in front of your TVs, in front of your computers, to do nothing. It is going to get to that point probably in about 20, 30 years. When we're about 60 to 80 years old, you're going to start seeing that. Could be sooner than that. Just understand, also Trump funded Plantar Day 2 of his second administration fully. Candy on BitChute said, I understand. Karp complained that Silicon Valley just builds food delivery apps, dating apps, and social media stuff. He also said that markets are too democratic and just gives people what they want. Entertainment, not what they need. He said that they need AI weapon systems, battlefield autonomy, surveillance infrastructure, and military coordination and tools. That is absolutely terrifying, but that's the future. Everybody says, oh, this is, I see it all the time. Oh, yeah, well, this is, our kids' grandchildren will see this. I call bullshit on that. Oh, the Terminator movie will never happen. What do you think? Folks, it ain't a joke.
So I think big time AI as well, though. Luckily, we don't have enough infrastructure for like energy to essentially send it to like a level of like the Matrix or the Terminator. So I think that luckily, due to like energy restrictions, we're going to hit this bubble. We're going to hit this period where we're at least in a better area. I've been talking to friends who are like, about AI, and I don't know how I feel about AI. There's the love hate to it. I think it could be one of the best goods, and it could be one of the greatest evils. Just almost like anything that is good, there's the downside. But I think that is a big thing that I've talked to some people, like some engineers, logistically about. And they're like, the thing is, people want AI to do more than we can handle on our energy grids. So they're going to have to slow down at a certain point and like level it out. Or like they're talking about building, maybe we talked about it on this show, building like energy in space, like putting like AI server farms in space. Just crazy shit like that.
Oh, where's
it's so
free
cold
energy?
up there.
Where is any of that? Well, President Trump is talking about, let's bring out aliens. You want to talk about aliens? Let's go into free energy. Where is that? I mean, that would be fantastic to have. Do you think I really need an air conditioner? You really think that I need solar panels? You really think I need any of that? No, we don't. Do I need jet streams of, chemtrails in the sky? Even though it's been blocked in Tennessee and in our state, South Carolina, it's been blocked. But guess what? I see them all the time. I don't mean to get conspiratorial, but I truly believe. What the fuck has changed? What has happened with tariffs? Has anyone? Listen, Freddie, have you seen gas go down, like significantly? Has anyone seen gas go down significantly? Groceries, anything. It all ties into that. Housing market.
And I think that to put on top of this with the Palantir guy as well is like, like for the Super Bowl, we saw that commercial where your Ring doorbell now looks for dogs that are missing. So it can at all times be looking for did you see this?
No.
So there's the Ring. Oh, dude. Dystopian. Like throw away your
I did
Ring
notice that
shit.
the majority of those commercials were straight AI. And I can find that out now. You can find it with, a simple paying attention. But in 5 years, not a chance.
No way. Well, and so, dude, Ring doorbell,
Tell me about
for anyone who doesn't know this, Ring doorbell, and they did a Super Bowl commercial. So they're proud of this. Like, that's how normalized, it's not a secret thing. That's like a little setting that they were like, hey, by the way, our doorbell now has AI technology that let's say my dog goes missing or my cat goes missing. I take a picture of it and I go, hey, Ring, tell me if the dog shows up. and it'll like alert me if my dog shows up on someone else's Ring doorbell, like a mile away, like a stranger. So like now I'm monitoring a stranger's fucking Ring doorbell for my dog. And who's to say that that's for, and if it can recognize a dog,
Who's to say
a
it's not
fucking
going to
dog,
Who says it's not
yeah,
going to
it's gonna
recognize a 2.5-year-old girl?
or a fucking human being, like, and yeah,
That's what I
yes,
mean.
and and that's my point though, of like, yes, like lost kids, but also like they're fucking watching us. They know where we are at all times. The facial technology, it's over. Like there's no hiding in public. They're using these AIs to I am looking more negatively. I think that there's positives that it could help save lives, but I'm thinking like, wait, what the fuck? You don't have my permission to be constantly monitoring who comes to my house. What if and then if I'm on the fucking lam, like we have all these fucking, let's just say, and like, not that I am, or just the government ever wants to find me. It's like, well, now my face is, anytime I walk by a house, they're using, again, because how far does this technology track these dogs to try to, it's not like the dog has to walk up to the door and say, like, say if they're seeing dogs, and it's a fucking dog, like it's a small patterned thing, it can definitely tell humans. That just freaks me the fuck
yeah,
out.
dude. Yeah.
I mean,
what about the blue lights that you see that are on like street corners and stuff? Has anybody seen those in their town? Those blue lights?
I wonder what that is.
That is facial recognition.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. If you see that,
makes so much
that's
sense.
been around forever. It's
been around. I see them randomly around
here. I don't know, probably before the pandemic, for sure.
Yeah, no, I've seen them around here.
The blue
to be clear,
blue
I've noticed it.
Yeah,
literally, I've noticed that, and I'm like, that's weird. Like, I don't, what is that? That makes sense, though. Yeah,
that's exactly what that is. It is scanning you. First Palantir used their drones on Palestinians to see how well they worked. Now they will be working on American taxes at work. Yeah, I agree. Unbelievable. We're going into the state of all of this. Zach from Tennessee with the can. Flock cameras are the devil. Flock cameras. Interesting. Is that what I'm talking about when it comes to the blue light? Let me know. Pull this up really quick. The American Spectator. Who cares if Democrats boycott Trump's State of the Union address? A few days ago, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, a joke, gave America some very welcomed news during a press conference. He said this: 5 years ago, 2/3 of Virginia voters passed a referendum that ostensibly eliminated partisan gerrymandering from the congressional redistricting process. In almost all midterm congressional elections, the president party loses seats in the House of Representatives. The only exceptions occurred. During the 25 gubernatorial election, the voters of Virginia believed that they were choosing between pragmatic Democrat Representative Abigail Spanberger, and it was hardly necessary to read the headline Sunday morning to know that the corporate media, like Minnesota, irresponsible governor. Am I just messing up with this? Okay. I certainly did. Click. A few days ago, during a press conference, he said Democrat members had two choices with regard to President Trump's upcoming State of the Union address. The two options that are in front of us, everyone, in our house, is either attend with defiance, silent defiance, or to not even attend at all. This will definitely be a win-win for everyone who tunes in Tuesday evening to hear what the president has to say about his first year accomplishments and future plans for the country. If the Democrats are silent or simply elsewhere, the State of the Union is bound to be far more dignified affair than usual. I would love this. They're going to be messing up. I don't know if they're going to be doing this because this is extremely, and I think we can all come to a word on this, cowardly. if they do not show up. Not that we won't miss Representative Al Green braying incoherent nonsense and waving his cane. I know exactly who this guy is. While being escorted out of the House chamber by Sergeant at Arms. If that happens, that would be insane. Or watching our congressional representative wave paddles in the air like there are so many vultures at an estate auction. Such asinine antics do have their entertainment value, of course, but most of the people who invest an hour or so of their time to watch President Trump speak will probably be more interested in the substance of his address than performative stunts. Nonetheless, for those who still yearn for sound and fury signifying nothing, a number of Democrats plan to participate in competing public events during the speech, according to the report. Yeah. So again, that's going to happen. I think it would be great if they step out of here. Like, I hate when one side sits down. It just shows such divisiveness and just grossness of our Congress that one side sits down. I don't like that. I've never liked that. It is so much that. And when you look at it, when it was taking place with Obama and all these, and then the Republicans would sit down and boo and all these sorts of things, I don't like to see that. I don't care if you get off on that, but I don't like it. Freddie, your thoughts? You want them there or you don't want them there?
You just need to be better than that. I don't care if you're not necessarily the person I support. Like you are the person who has been elected by the people. That's how the system works. And so again, you don't have, and the thing is too, it's not like you have to sit there and stand and cheer everything they do. You just give them a polite clap. Hey, welcome. You can sit down the rest of the time. You don't have to keep getting up and cheering every fucking announcement. You know, I know some people like to get up and do too much, but like, and then you can clap at the end. But even if there's a part where it's polite, like they do, and again, sometimes they'll do something good and be like, hey, this is a good announcement. It's like, okay, you know what, you deserve. And that's the thing is, no one is all evil. Well, that's actually tough to say these days, isn't it? I would say that there's I'd say most people are not 100% evil people. There are definitely 100% evil people, but like, you know, so a lot of these politicians that I do totally dislike, I think they suck. I don't like them as people. I don't like their politics. I don't like anything about them. Sometimes a broken clock is right twice a day. Not sometimes, always. Broken clocks right twice a day. And that said, you know, there are these points where, okay, you know what, that's a good call. Good for you for going with a bipartisan thing or whatever. But yeah, it is classless, and there is a certain level of sportsmanship, I guess we'll say, that is required for this level of competition in politics, to be honest. I guess I don't know, I have a better word, but like, if you're going to be at that level of politics, you need to fucking buck up and be willing to acknowledge your competition, acknowledge that they won, and do better next time. You know what I mean? And of course, there are allegedly and have potentially been some, you know, fucked up things happening with those, with, you know, some voting things. You know, we won't get into that, but that, you know, and that's not cool. But at the same time, yeah, again, try to respect your fellow competitor, I guess.
Well, they have no backbone, these people. Agreed. At all. And I'll leave you guys with this on positive news. As you know, we literally witnessed a miracle on ice. The American Olympic hockey team, the men's hockey team, won since the 1980s. It was huge. It was fantastic. It was one of the greatest things that America has ever seen. They were very patriotic. They also gave a hat tip to Canada. But as we all remember this with Canada. that, but to be honest,
No.
they were booing us. This was last year, February 15, 2025. They were booing us. They are not our allies at all. They steal from us, throw tariffs on them, which we have done. Their former prime minister wore blackface, et cetera, et cetera. They are garbage. They do not like us. And let's just not be like this person, as you could see right here as, well, not that. Come on, Tommy. What are you doing? Let's not do this. Boom. In a world full of Megan Rapinoes, be a Jack Hughes. You're either going to kneel or you're going to have your teeth knocked out with a puck or a stick or a punch and praise the United States of America. And again, these were all from different teams, and they proudly were invited to the White House tomorrow for the State of the Union address. They will be there. The U.S. gold medal hockey team at the State of the Union tomorrow will be chanting USA, USA, USA at key moments. It shall be epic. Let's flex on that. I love it. Freddie, always a pleasure. I'm glad we came back. We had a great time. Everybody out there, for sure. Freddie, I hope to see you. I would be very fun to watch the State of the Union with you.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, I'll plan to come through tomorrow for at least a little while for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get a couple people on here. Maybe some Linda Paris, folks. You don't know who Linda Paris is? She's fantastic. She's down in Florida. Worked with her for a long time. But again, don't be in a world full of Megan Rapinoes. Be a Jack Hughes, folks. Just understand that. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, being a big dog. Guys, if you want to hit 5,000 gold pills, 2 ships will get us there right now. I'm going to go ahead and release the gold pills right now. Bada boom, bada bing. There you go, Z's. Hey, Paulie with the ship as soon as I said it. There we go. There we go. Thank you, my friend. That is a huge donation. Paulie, good to see you, and thank you very much for helping out. Everybody on Rumble as well. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. Everybody coming in here late. We love you guys very much, and we will see you tomorrow at probably 7 or 8 o'clock. I'll figure it out. We love you guys very much. Take care. Peace.